So introduction, who are you, where are you from, and what do you do?
So my name is Silja Calac, I'm Swiss. I have worked a little bit all around the world and I'm at the moment in Frankfurt working for Swiss Re. But here today I'm talking to you in my function as member of the board of ITFA, heading the insurance committee and also treasurer of ITFA.
Thank you. So what is the importance of standardized documents for banks and insurers within trade finance?
Yes, that's a very important question. I was just on a panel at the XCRED Insuring Short-Term Trade Finance Business Conference, and it was a really interesting panel on should documentation when you do insurance policies between banks and insurance companies, should it be standardized? And we came to the conclusion, I think, that yes, although there are still some hurdles, it is very important to standardize. Why? Because our market is a bespoke bilateral market and always tends to keep under the radar, thinking bad things will pass. But that is not a good idea, because at the moment with the regulation, it is important that the regulator understands our business in order to take it appropriately into account and implement the right legislation which is necessary for our business, which is a very good business and which helps the real economy, and where banks and insurance companies are very complementary to each other.
Great. And what has ITFA done to help standardization?
ITFA has, since the setup of the insurance committee in 2014, ITFA has immediately thought of starting with standardization, because ITFA, from being involved together with BAFT in the Master Risk Participation Agreement, where they have done a lot of efforts to standardize, is used to that and thought in order to help market players to understand each other better and to boost business like that, we should do the same for insurance. However, in the insurance world, it was a bit different. We met a lot of resistance at the beginning because banks were afraid they lose their privileges they have in hard negotiated insurance policies. Insurers were afraid that their secrets of their policies got known to the competition, and brokers are anywhere always very close to their own knowledge. So everybody was a little bit scared in the beginning. And then there was one other issue, is that insurance it's not just one product. You have very many different insurance products, like political risk insurance, trade credit insurance, non-payment insurance, surety. They are completely different. So we started first in setting up in 2016 insurance guidelines, which were updated in 2019 in June, in order to take into account the PRA consultation statement. And then at our conference now in Budapest in September, we have launched a real standard document, which is the unfunded ITFA Master Participation Agreement.
So the MRPA, the Master Risk Participation Agreement, what is that?
A Master Risk Participation Agreement is a framework where two parties can share risk. It works normally on a reciprocal basis, and the best known MRPA in the market is the BAFT MRPA. So when ITFA set up the so-called surety MRPA, or the unfunded ITFA Risk Participation Agreement, it was strongly inspired by the BAFT Master Participation Agreement. It is also CRR compliant. It is also two parties sign. Both can have their affiliates join the MRPA. So basically it's very similar, but it has one major difference. As the name says, it is unfunded. So it aims at a slightly different audience than the BAFT MRPA. So the surety MRPA is not to substitute the BAFT MRPA, but to complement it. So it is aimed mainly at insurance companies, which are per definition participating on an unfunded basis. And because of that, it has, to take this into account, it has some specificities. One important one is that you can take participations in facilities, guarantee facilities mainly, but also receivables finance facilities. Mm-hmm. So all the provisions that the single instruments under a facility can change while the facility remains in place have been taken into account.
Great. So if I'm a bank or I'm an insurer, how can I use the ITFA Unfunded MRPA?
So if you are an ITFA member, you can go on our website into the membership area, and you will find under insurance or under legal documentation, you will find the BAFT MRPA as a Word document. So basically you can just print it out, have it vetted by your lawyers and use it. You will also find there a markup against the BAFT MRPA, so you can see what are the changes if you have, for instance, already the BAFT MRPA in place. And you will find guidelines which explain to you how the different clauses are used. And last but not least, there is also the CRR legal opinion, which is actually in favor of all the ITFA members. So you have right away, you do not need to get any other legal confirmation for the CRR compliance of your document any longer.
Silja, thank you very much, and what a great explanation of the key important parts of the MRPA. It's been great to have you on Trade Finance Talks TV.
Thank you.